Takes the snap, short drop, hits the quarterback.
An instant classic in Nicholsville, and they're still counting votes in Arizona. Welcome to episode 5.12. You're watching After the Whistle. I'm your host, Brian Moore, along with Tom Krieger and Greg Tester. Gentlemen, how was your week?
Pretty good until Monday night.
Yeah.
I got the gout.
The gout.
Whatever that is.
Tell us about the gout.
They said, Coach Wright, number 2 said, only kings get the gout.
Well, I tell you
I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, it was miserable, wasn't it?
It was
what
awful.
I gathered.
It was awful.
He said he thought his foot was broke. His ankle was broke. It hurt so bad. And
Crawled in the doctor's office, but they took care of me. Gave me a shot, gave me some pills, bud.
Well, I'm glad to hear
Raring to
you
go now.
cured the gout.
But I didn't get to miss the scrimmage.
It wasn't that bad, was it? All right.
Mine
well,
wasn't good. I said mine wasn't good.
Your week
Go
was,
ahead.
you ready to say, what's your week? How was
Wasn't
yours?
good.
Well, yeah, it wasn't too good. We'll get to talking about that here in just a second. Let's take a look at these quarterfinal games and what went down this past week. We had some good ones in the instant classic. We'll talk about it here in just a second over in Nicholsville. But first, let's take a look at Virginia High and Lee. Virginia High 37, Lee 20. Brody Jones for Virginia High got injured, I think, on the second or third play of the game. Things didn't look too good for Virginia High, and Deshaun Taylor stepped in and played quarterback. Once he got settled in, did pretty good. 2 touchdowns for him. This is the first playoff win since 2013 for the Bearcats.
2013.
Yep. Been a while.
That's pretty good. Well, I
And do it
mean,
without that QB.
Patterson's got it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Patterson's
That's
got
how
them
it
playing.
Well, I was a little concerned because I felt like their schedule was a little stronger on the 1A side, and I didn't know if they were going to be able to. But they brought it. They were game. They finished the season 9 and well, they're not finished. They're 9-2. But my understanding is that the injury was a compound fracture, and that's the worst kind. You hate to hear that. So hopefully Jones kid gets rehabilitated and gets better and is back on the field again. Pendergraft, your kid there, he had 2 touchdown passes for Lee. He had a pretty solid night. And Lee back in the playoffs first time in a while. So that's a program definitely moving in the right
Well, if I'm not
direction.
mistaken, I think I read where Pendergraft had threw for 2,000 yards and 24 touchdown passes this year, broke some records at Lehigh, which I'm sure he broke a Pendergraft record.
Well, that's good for Lee. I mean, I hate they lost the ball game, and I know they do, but
They're young.
that's a program moving in the right direction, and a lot of people want to take notice of them. So Virginia High advances with the win. Lebanon, Lebanon 51, Twin Springs 49. This is the first playoff win for the Pioneers since 2009. Darrell Taylor's squad played a thriller over there in Nicholsville, and people got more than their money's worth out of that game.
A lot of defense was played. But
Yeah, it sounds like it. The Horn kid had another big game as usual for Twin Springs, and it basically came down to who had the ball at the end of the game.
What I've taken from it, talking people to the game, that was Lebanon's game plan. Let that kid run it and get tired, he couldn't score at the end.
Well,
He carried the ball 39 times for 390 yards or soming like that.
it was
wasn't
way
it?
up there, yeah.
They just wore him down.
Well, that's like rope-a-dope or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Well, Lebanon with a big win there. So congratulations to Coach Taylor. I know Coach Warner and company's probably upset with the loss, but that's a team that hung around and was tough all year long. Twin Springs, so hats off to them as well on a pretty solid season. Next, guys, this one here was a big game. Gate City 21, Union 14. Mason
I
Hickman.
picked Gate City, didn't I?
I'll have to go back and look here. No, I don't think so. I think it was Bears across the board. Mason Hickman scored, I think, with about 30 seconds left to go in the game, and that was the difference, the final score difference there, 21-14. This is the first time that Gate City's won a postseason game in the last 8 years.
Well, if anything in the Mountain 7, my vote for Coach of the Year would be Housewright. Boys,
That's true.
nobody gave them a hope. And then losing to Richland's first game,
The way they
lost it, now look.
Yeah. And it had been that first game, it still got you scratching your head after you've seen everything else they've done.
That's right.
The Anderson kid, Rayshawn Anderson, 17 carries, 93 yards, and a touchdown for the Bears. Been consistent all year long. This is the first time since 2011 that Union hasn't won or Big Stone Gap, I should say, a team from Big Stone Gap hasn't won the first round playoff game. So, but that's a program that's probably starting 5 or 6 freshmen. So there you go. A good game, probably exciting atmosphere and everything. But congratulations, Gate City, as they advance as well. Up next, Ridgeview 35, Tazewell nothing.
Yeah, U-Haul. Y'all said, no, Taz will get them, boys. Taz will stay in there.
Nobody said
Go rewind it.
I said
Somebody did. I know who you picked, but one of you just talked about now. I'm telling you, boy.
We might have said
Taz will come play. They'll come play.
I thought the game would be a little tighter than the first half.
Exactly what we said it was in the first quarter.
All right, boys. I don't know. We'll rewind it and see.
Well, the story of the game was Ridgeview's defense. I know they're putting up points and everything. I mean, Oakwin had 134 yards passing and 1 touchdown pass, but the thing here is they held Tazewell 154 yards. That's 2 straight weeks now. They've blanked somebody. 41-0 last week, 35-0 this week. Their defense seems to be kind of gelling at the right time.
Might not want to play them. We might have to go away from the Patron.
It seems like they finally getting their act together at the right time of the year. At least that's the way it seems. Cassius Harris, the big receiver, I think he's a Richmond commit, isn't he? From Tazewell. Only limited to 3 catches. They were all over it. They knew what was going on there. Another note here, Tazewell, this is the 4th straight year they've been ousted in the first round. They just can't seem to get beyond that hump. And it's a program that has improved in the last few years, but it seems like it's just plateaued out. 3 turnovers for the Dogs in this game. You're not going to win a playoff game with 3 turnovers, especially on the road. So Ridgeview with the big win there, 35-0. They too advanced. All right, Christiansburg 35, Abingdon 7. It's about what we expected, but this game was 0-0 at halftime. In the third quarter is when Christiansburg blew it open, 21 points in the third quarter. Abingdon, they give them everything they could for as long as they could. So the coaches got the most out of them. The kids gave what they had, and I guess the war of attrition took over there toward the end. Another big one, guys, that probably was a bigger margin than maybe we thought, but all of us did call it. Holston 31, Rycove 8. Noah Tweed 174 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and he passed for 94 yards and a touchdown for Holston. And now Holston will go back to PH and play. And remember, earlier this year, Holston lost PH 30-17, but Holston had a 10-0 lead on PH.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm just telling
They're
you.
going to lose again.
That was 30-17. That's a big rivalry game. Holston's playing well right now.
They're exactly on the house, boys. Hey.
So I think this is going to be a heck of a game to go catch it. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do
I
here.
say 38-10.
Think so?
I'm going to say it's
38 to
close for the
12.
first half.
Yeah, here we go. So that means 40-6.
All right, well, we'll come down there and pick them here in a minute, and we'll be able to put it all on the line. See what we got. All right, next, Graham 41, Wise 13. This is one of those 2 games that was played on Friday night and all that wonderful weather we had. Tydres Clements had 115 yards rushing and 1 spectacular play that everybody's been talking about. and I understand it kind of went viral and everything.
Oh,
I didn't see it.
About the play of him hurdling the kid and everything. I haven't seen it myself. I've just heard people talking about it. So we'll have to check it out.
Oh, is that the Wise game?
Yeah, the Wise game is a spectacular play. The kid from Graham executed. Graham had 234 yards on the ground, strong rushing game. It was 27-7 at halftime, pretty much, par for course. But Wise went down and scored early, and, looked like we might have had a game there. But Graham pretty much
They
kept
showed
things
the
in
Patron
check.
was vulnerable in some spots.
Alec Gent actually led all rushers for Wise there. He had 154 yards and on 24 carries, 2 touchdowns for Wise. But Wise is now and has now been eliminated from the playoffs. And I understand Wise. I'm not saying that Graham wasn't going to beat him, but Wise
Why are
was
we
a little
still talking
bad.
about this?
They were banged up a little bit going in that game too, though.
Who was?
Wise was.
Yeah.
They had some injuries going in. I ain't saying that's why they lost. I'm just saying season probably.
Yeah, because they had a tough game the week before.
Yeah. I don't know how or why, but anyhow they were. All right, and then next, the big game, guys, that we had here was one of our games of the week was Grundy versus Homeacre. 38 Grundy, 38 Homeacre 20. The last time they played, it was 62-21. And one of the kids, even the lineman, made a reference to that a few weeks ago. They didn't think it was going to be another 62. That's
Well,
when
we
you
knew
asked me
that.
about that 62 reference. That's what that kid was talking about. Grundy
The
led.
field helped. I mean, that was smart by playing on Friday for them.
You got
People
home.
can get mad all they want. That's why you get home field advantage. You pick when you want to play.
That's right. Unless you're playing Salem and it's 1996.
Six? No, yeah, it was 96 when
Yeah.
they moved the game from Grundy to Taz.
We'll talk about that one day.
But we're not Willis White.
That's true. Grundy led actually 16-0. They scored a touchdown, got an onside kick, went down, scored. It looks like it was going to be the same thing again. Next thing you know, 16-14 at the half.
Didn't actually.
They took the lead 20. Yeah, but they only held it for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, but Homeacre did have the lead, and I know that probably woke some people up. And Grundy got those 2 quick touchdowns in the third, did. And Grundy ends up hanging on. But the big story coming out of this was the fact that Aiden Lowe injured and is probably out for the season in basketball.
I heard it was a broke leg. Then they got to looking, and I guess the rumor is that he tore the tendon from his ankle to the tibia or whatever. And if he did that, I think he's having surgery. But you gotta hate that last game. Him trying to do his best to win that game. But guys, that's part of it. I mean, injuries. I mean, just hope it never happens. And I hate it for him because I think he was the player of the year last year in basketball in the Black Diamond.
Yeah. And you see this happen, so I mean it's very frustrating. I know it has to be
Hopefully, like I said, nobody. I don't know for sure yet. Hopefully that he can be back by January.
Well, yeah, I hope so. Hope he's able to recover and it's not as bad as maybe what we've been hearing. Our final game, guys, Patrick Henry and Hurley, and I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about that one. Tell us what went down.
Did they play?
Yeah, it was on there.
All I seen was how they had to.
They
didn't even get to go in at halftime. They didn't even have them in the locker room.
No, that wasn't true. We chose not to go in the locker room. But I don't know. It was 21-0 before we got off the bus. But no, actually, man, it's hats off Patrick Henry. They did
what they do.
They did what they wanted to do on us, and we had one drive, and the first drive we had, we drove down to 10, got stalled, and they scored about every time they had the ball. So just
Well, I
one
think
of them things, man.
Well, and I'm not. Just like I said, I can't take nothing away from them. Your Hurley team, those boys were in a unique situation right there. That was kind of playing on Saturday, probably the first time for most of them. And then in the playoff scenario against a pretty daggone good football team.
We was upset. We wanted a better
Show.
performance and showing than what we gave. And we're better than what we play. We're not better. We're nowhere close as good as Patrick Henry, but we're better than what we play.
Well, that's. I still think next year you're going to put Hurley in top 2 or 3 teams in our region right here. So Rebels have got a lot of returning players. That's a good sign when you go to the locker room after a playoff loss.
But man, Patrick Henry up front, they're solid. Probably the best team we've seen up front this year,
Yeah.
and just couldn't block them. Couldn't block them.
But that's why we've had them 1 and 2 all year
All year
long.
long, that's
Grundy
true.
and PH.
All right, well, that's it for our games for this past week. Our weekly recap brought to you by Buchanan General Hospital. Excuse me, not Buchanan General Hospital, Buchanan Therapy Services. Brought to you by them each week. They're located in the Grundy Plaza. If you need physical therapy services, give them a call down there. They'll take care of you. That's Buchanan Therapy Services located in the Grundy Plaza. All right, fellas, up next we've got our True Point Bank Peak Performer of the Week. And this week our True Point Bank Peak Performer of the Week is the Ridgeview Wolfpack defense with the 35-0 playoff shutout of Tazewell Bulldogs. Anytime you can contain Tazewell's receivers and backs and get a shutout, that's pretty impressive. Back-to-back shutouts for Ridgeview Wolfpack. Looks like the defense is playing well at the right time of the year. Congratulations. True Point Bank Peak Performer of the Week. All right, up next we have our Who Said It, and this week, this week Coach has got our Who Said It, but we want to congratulate Justin Brooks. He was a winner of our last week's Who Said It. That was Clint Eastwood that said that as Dirty Harry, and so far he's been entered into our free pizza drawing along with Rochelle Palmer, Alex Tabor, who's been entered 5 times, Haley Moore, Michael Edwards, Sharon Hurley. All of those names. We've got one this week, and next week we will have our drawing. So, Coach, you have our Who Said It for this week?
Yeah, and I'm going hard. This one's going to be hard for some because all these adults, I'm getting ready to give one out to see if they really know it, and it is.
Wait just a second. Put the answer in our comment section on our Facebook page right underneath episode 5.12. All right, Coach.
To infinity and beyond. But you all don't know it. To infinity and beyond.
I know that one. That's a good one.
Tell me how hard. You know it?
Nope.
See?
See?
It's going to be tough.
All right. Pistol, you know it? Pistol don't even know it.
To infinity and beyond.
This might be the hardest one we've ever had. I doubt it. But anyhow, all right, folks, there you are. That's our
I
Who
thought
Said It.
Eddie and the Cruisers one was going to be hard.
Well, it wasn't.
God.
Put that answer to
Another
that.
Google
Be the
now.
first one to put it in. That's true. Be the first one to put it in our Facebook page right underneath episode 5.12, and your name will be entered into the free pizza drawing, which will take place next week right here on the program. All right. Up next, we have our Stump the CRIG segment. We're getting ready to go straight on in from there into our
Procrastination.
pigskin prognostications here coming up. We've got our Stump the CRIG, and the way this works is each week we ask the CRIG a question, and I have a hermetically sealed envelope here in my hand, and this hermetically sealed envelope was sealed in a bank vault, and it was under the eye of watchful security for the last 7 days, delivered here just moments ago in an armored truck. And I have not seen the contents of this, and neither have you. And the way this works is he is going to tell us what the answer to the question is before I even read the question. That's right, folks. He's just that good. He's the only man alive that can eat Swiss cheese from the inside out. And right now, he's going to take a shot at it. Do you have the answer?
Humphreys.
Huh?
Humphrey.
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 Humphrey. Okay, Humphrey is the answer. Final answer.
Final answer.
Humphrey, what do you call a camel with no humps? Humphrey. I thought he'd been a name like
Yeah,
Humphrey.
you didn't say Humphrey.
I said Humphrey.
Humphrey.
What else? Humphrey.
Humphrey. I thought he'd been a name like anyhow. Humphrey is correct. That's the correct answer. That is what you call a camel with no humps, ain't it? It's Humphrey. All right. All right. Well, they got the first one right, but I have the second one right here in my hand. You have not seen the contents of this envelope, and neither have I. You want to take a shot at the second one?
Rough. Rough. Rough.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Final answer is rough. And the question is, or the statement or whatever, what did the dog say when he sat down on sandpaper? What did he say? All right, folks, 2-0 once again. We have failed to stump the CRIG. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Next week we're going to bring out all the guns blazing. We're going to try our best to stump him before I start to say hump him.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Been a while. We're going to try to stump him before the season ends next week. So we're going to bring all the ammo next week. And I ain't humping him. You can, but I ain't. All right, here we go. Well, let's see here.
Get up our 4 feet too long.
Get up 4 feet too long, boys. All right. Usually each week we bring you our top 5. We don't have to worry about that now, but it's usually brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill. Food so good, make your tongue want to slap your brains out. Check them out over in Hurley, located right down the street from
The meat market.
the Hurley Meat Market.
And you know you can't beat Hurley's meat.
All right. Here we go.
You can beat some of it.
Picks
not
for
all.
this week, fellas. Last week, all of us finished 7-1. And the only game you missed was the Hurley game. So you did, across the board, did really well. And the only game you and I missed
I
was...
picked Gate City.
No, you picked
You
Union.
all cheat.
You picked Union. You and I missed the same game. I can't remember which one it was now. But nonetheless, here we are. And let's take a look at this week's
I
game.
think you got me wrong. I think I missed Union. I think I picked Union. Did I not?
Yeah. We all picked Union.
We all picked Union.
Yeah.
Oh, you said I just.
Oh, wait a
missed
minute.
one
You
game?
missed 2 games in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well,
Golly. Arizona's counting these.
well, I just got the results in
Yeah.
from Arizona, so you never know what could happen here. Heck, I may get 10 more games right here before we know it. All right. Our overall record and our pick'em so far is I am 125 and 41.
I don't know if I picked Union. Could you go back and check it?
Yeah.
Did you?
I can go back and watch it. All of us picked you. 116 and 44 for you. That's pretty bad. 124.
Ain't no.
No. You got more than that. I'll have to go back and check.
Golly,
This is not right here.
this is Arizona made over right here.
I didn't add yours up. Is what it was.
I was going to say, I'm ahead big.
Yeah, you got 7.
I'm 131.
131 is what you was. I didn't add. It didn't add. That's all it was. Didn't add.
You talking Jimmy the Greek,
131 and
man.
40. All right. So let's take a look here. First game up, guys. Region C, we've got Narrows at George Wythe. Just a little note here. George Wythe, there are 5 opponents that were on their schedule are still playing in the playoffs. So that tells you they got strength of schedule advantage over the Narrows. Any thoughts on that game?
George Wythe.
I think George Wythe, George Wythe's coming in 7-3. Narrows is 8-1. The game's at George Wythe. I'm sticking with George Wythe as well. What about you?
Not so fast, my friends. I'm going with Coach Lowe and my buddy's son that he plays wide receiver. I think they get them.
Think you get him?
I think they're pretty good. I mean Kelly does a good job, and I think Narrows comes out with the win.
All right, that's a good one. Be good to go watch right there.
Who's Narrows lost to?
I'd be afraid to tell you. I'm not sure on that one.
Galac.
Yes.
But all right, so that's a common opponent.
No.
Not sure about that, but nonetheless. So you've got George Wythe. I've got George Wythe, and Coach, you're going with NARS.
I'm going with Narrows.
NARS with the win. All right, big game, boys. Holston at Patrick Henry. Holston 8-3. Patrick Henry 8-3. Patrick Henry.
It was Giles.
Giles.
They lost to Giles. 16-14.
Okay.
Not to interrupt you, but go ahead.
That's fine. Patrick Henry overcame a 10-point deficit the first time they played. They won 30-17. McPhail had about 186 yards rushing. They did pack the ball 38 times. I imagine you're going to see more of the same in this ball game. They're not going to deviate from what they do. I'm going to call the upset here, and I'm going with Holston on this one. I feel like Holston is Now don't get me wrong, I think PH could very well win this, but I think Holston's got some stuff going in their direction right now. And I think the fact that they were able to jump out on them 10-0 the last time tells me that they're capable of playing with them. They just had some letdowns or whatever, and PH was able to come back. And the fact that PH is probably going to be an edge for them, but I'm going to go with Holston in the upset.
I think the upset is possible, and I think it's going to be a great game, but I think PH wins it in the end.
No.
All right, Coach Craig.
PH big.
PH big.
Yeah, about 30 to 12, 40 to 12.
Okay.
30-24.
In my opinion, okay, I'll go on record saying this, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can live with it. The winner of this game will win Region D. I said it.
I could go with that.
Okay.
Boys, the Mighty Wave.
I know, but that's where I'm going. That's the way I think things are flowing right now.
You think the home field advantage hurt them that bad?
Yes.
Hurt who?
Grundy.
Yeah, I think losing it.
So you're saying the loss to Wise is going to come back and bite?
I think it's going to come back and get him. Yep. All right.
Well, here's the thing: Patrick Henry can run in that mud too.
That's true. That's
So-
true. All right, up next we've got Lebanon at Grundy. Lebanon coming in 7-4. Actually got a better record than Grundy. Grundy's sitting at 6-4. Lebanon scored 42 points or more in 4 games. Excuse me. Grundy's done that 5 times. So both of them has put up numbers, but I think Grundy's just got. I think they're too strong of a team. I don't think Lebanon's going to be able to hang with that run game with Grundy. And the fact that the Horn kid ran the ball at will against Lebanon, and Grundy's got more than one weapon at running the game, at running the ball. And the fact it's at Grundy on that field, I think Grundy wins this game by 20 plus.
Here's the deal: if the game's on a dry field, Lebanon wins.
You think so?
But it's not going to happen because it's not on the dry field. So
I'm going with Grundy in this one, and I think Grundy 20 plus.
here's why I say I think it would be a scoring fest, just like the Twin Springs game. But I don't think Lebanon's going to be able to do what they want to do on this field.
Yeah.
Didn't give him out.
But the Reese kid, but the Reese kid passing the ball, if the field conditions are like they were against Homeacre the other night, that's going to affect Lebanon's passing game.
Yeah.
Oh, you can guarantee it's going to be ankle deep Friday. But boys, you all sit here and talk about the field conditions, this and that. Boys, I know somebody that played 10 ball games and it rained all 10 games. If I'm mistaken, probably threw for about 1,700 yards, threw for 27 touchdown passes.
Here we go.
10 games, all 5 games we played, it was in the rain.
There's exceptions to the rule.
That's
You know what the key to that is, don't you? You're a ball boy.
Got the best one in the
John
still
Locke.
there.
John Locke.
Still there, bud.
Who you got, Tester?
I got the G Grundy Golden Wave, buddy.
Plus it's gonna
Just
be
confirm,
25
get the final.
degrees.
Trigger, who you got?
The boys who we've had all year
I'm
long.
just saying, gotta hear it because you know how
Grundy
people are.
Golden Wave, boys.
All right, Grundy across the board. Next, Gate City at Graham. I'll let you go first.
Well, I think Gate City comes in, and I think they have a good first quarter. They come out strong and get a little fire about them, but I think Graham puts it away in the third quarter. I think it's I think it's a 42-20 game.
Okay, Coach, what you got?
Graham.
Any
need to
thoughts
talk
about the
it,
game?
man? I mean, just,
We've got them there for a reason. They've been number one. They ain't lost in 3 years in the region or a game. They've won. I mean, they're going to win big.
Okay, I got the G-men as well. I think for Gate City, and I know that Gate City's going to play this game. They're going there to win. That's what
That's
they're
right.
going to do. But if Gate City makes a good showing out of this game, I don't think they're going to win. But if they make a good showing here, it's going to really help their program.
Oh, they've had a wonderful year.
Yeah, that's what I
I
think.
mean, like I said, nobody like he has done great. Now, if he pulls this one off, he's definitely a coach of the
if
year.
they don't make a good showing, it's still going to be. All right.
It's still have
Yeah,
a good
I mean,
year.
that's right.
What I'm saying, this could be the icing on top of it. Even if they lose this game, and I think they will, their performance here could speak volumes for where they move forward to in the future. You know, as coaches, how you have to look at things like this. All right, up next, big one, Virginia High at 9-2. They're getting ready to play Ridgeview, the Wolfpack. Thoughts on this?
Ridgeview, they could. I mean, way people's talking out there, the way they're playing. I haven't seen them. They're talking they could win it all. They could beat Patron in the GME. So I'm going with Ridgeview in this, especially with the starting quarterback getting hurt.
Say it again. What'd you say?
I don't know about choke. See, when I said that, I
Yeah.
choked.
You just the fact that you
I didn't
said-
say it. I'm just saying other people saying it.
Other people, there you go. This is the first or the second week in a row that Ridgeview's played a Southwest District team, and the second time they played somebody, second week in a row they played somebody that they have never played before. So this is the first time Virginia High and Ridgeview's ever met on the field. It's going to be pretty good.
But it's at Virginia or at Ridgeview.
It's at Ridgeview. And
First time they ever met, they didn't play last year.
no, evidently not. So I'm picking Ridgeview in this one. I think Oakland and Company takes care of business. But you know that Virginia High's got some athletes.
They do, man. I think Ridgeview wins. I think Virginia High. I think Ridgeview gets them up front.
Yep.
You know, I think they got enough athletes to match them. I just think.
All right, folks. That takes
After
care
he
of
edits it.
that takes care of our picks after I edit those other games out. Big playoff week. Get out and watch a football game somewhere, especially if it's in your hometown. Get out and watch these kids play. I don't have anything else. You guys got anything?
I don't just.
Got anything? Stop by Belsino's, eat some pizza and grinders. All right, until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Coach Krieger.
Reminding you that artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity. Good day.
Ridgeview gets them up front.
All right, boys, we've got two college games to take a look at here. These are some big ones. Alabama at Ole Miss.
I'll take.
Could Alabama drop 3 in a year?
What's Ole Miss? What's the hell they doing?
They're doing really well this year.
As the old Kiffin said, he's the best in the business. The other one is.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's at Ole Miss.
Well,
Give
it's
me the
like
Rebels,
this.
baby.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Ole Miss.
I'm taking Alabama to win 30-24.
30-24.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's going to
What?
happen. They'll win 30-24.
Give me the Rebels.
All right. Now, Ole Miss is going to run the ball. That's what they want to do. They're going to pound. I'm a little skeptical now. You got me thinking. Alabama, hard to stop, buddy, on offense. It's at Ole Miss. I'm gonna go with the Tide. No, I'm going with Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my original gut here. I'm going with Ole Miss. Alabama drops the 3rd game of the year. All right, next big one. This is the last pick. TCU at Texas. This is a big Texas game, right?
I know. I think they both come out. They struggle. TCU's got to win. It's at Texas. I think TCU wins 17-10.
TCU. That's who I've got. TCU. I think the Horn probably take
Going
care
with
of
Texas. That y'all going with TCU, boy.
You got to pick up some wins, don't you?
Well, now we just wasted 10 minutes on picking these games, and they played Saturday, and Alabama won 30-24, and TCU won 17-10. I mean, that's what we got going on here, guys.
I knew they
You called the score. I see now.
Gosh, almighty!
Well, they
Why
were-
you put them on there?
It was already on there. I already had them on there, and I thought it was next week, so I didn't do nothing about it. Well,
And Alabama won
Guys all in here looking
30-24.
like fools.
Yeah,
we can answer that.
they didn't make me because I
I'll
predicted
edit
the
this,
score.
boys. I'll edit these.
No, you're not. I love it. I was gonna let us
You
pick
should have let him
it.
pick. You should have went right along with it. We can talk about how good he is.
That's why I seen Kiffin say he's still the best in the business or something like that. Yeah, I seen a meme or
But Ole Miss was up. They're playing good. They come down to one play, and old Kiffin threw his. They missed it, and he threw his daggone clipboard back and hit somebody right in the shin.
Ready?
You
All right.
don't edit this.
Let's see here.
Count the votes.
Okay, you ready? You ready? You still good? All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, we'll break it down here.